Alright guys, welcome back to another vlog. Thank you for tuning into this one, and just want to encourage you to just like, share and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to grow this channel. I just ran 2 miles, nothing crazy, just a 2 mile in the evening, just wanted to clear my head. So as regards to my fitness journey, I started my journey last year January 8th to be exact, and have managed to transform my body to a physique that I'm comfortable with. It's not exactly where I want it to be, but I moved from pretty much here in my physique to here. I'm a little bit bigger now compared to here. This was a few months ago, and I lost some weight because I stopped gymming for a while, but now I'm back on track. And yeah, sorry about that. So I'm 183 pounds now, 6'2", 183 pounds, and that leave my body mass index to be, I think I'm around 13 or 14% body fat. I'm not sure if I want to get to 10% as yet. I want to increase in weight a little bit. I want to go to 195 pounds this year, and then I'll cut. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to be consistent with this vlog as much as possible. But it is a lovely afternoon, and I'm about to go home. So alright guys, so damn, my lips is dry. No chopstick. Alright guys, so I'm about to redo my budget for 2026. I haven't updated my budget since I moved to Florida, and I need to get on that. So I started the morning by just going over my budget, a sustainable and realistic budget. I'm gonna walk you guys through that. So that's Finance 101. So the budget that I have here, so I normally use Excel for my budget for so many reasons. It's it's so simple, and Excel do all the calculations for me. I don't have to add up like my monthly spending. Excel, my budget sheet, do all that for me once I plug in the numbers. And I've been using this budget or this template since I just got out of college, and I've been running with it since. So all I do is just change up the as the year go by, and whatever expense I accumulate, I change it up on the spreadsheet itself. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys shortly, so you guys can see it and just see how it's set up. For 2026, I want to clamp down on my financials. I've been a pretty responsible first person as regards to finance. I don't think I'm irresponsible when in regards to money. Like everybody else, I make few bad spending, but I wouldn't say anything crazy. I'm a big time saver, but saving is not good enough. And to actually achieve financial freedom, you need to do something with your saving. I've gone ahead and I've emailed my financial advisor last night for just a quick, I want to have a quick meeting with him just to go over my finances for the year and just see my financial position and how I can improve on that. And I would encourage everyone, these are like two things I would encourage everyone to have: a financial advisor and a budget that you follow. A budget pretty much, budgeting won't bring financial freedom, but how I look at budgeting is just you're giving your money is like soldiers, and you're dictating where they should go, and you keep track of where they're going. So it have your money organized, and I believe that for financial freedom, you need to every single cent or every single dollar need to be accounted for that you make. So the budget really clamped down on that. Okay, so this is how my budget spreadsheet look. As I mentioned, I haven't updated it since I've moved, and reason being, have had a financial hiccup since I moved down here. So well, that would have been the best time for me to get back to my budget, but I'm gonna try to just go through the different aspect of the budget. So description, rent, mortgage. This is pretty much your housing under the category. So I have description category, projected cost, actual cost, and the difference. Well, some of your expenses are going to be fixed, like more than likely a mortgage and your rent. That's generally fixed, and that generally doesn't change based on how you and your landlord or the mortgage provider came to agreement. So that's generally fixed. But you put the projected cost here, the actual cost, and the difference. And the reason why I have it like this, because for like some expenses that fluctuate, like prime example, like the electric bill, sometimes what I generally do for electric bill, I put like the upper limit. Yeah, I put the upper limit for how much it will cost. So like the highest bill I've had was like $350, but it generally doesn't comes between that rate. So I've put it the upper limit just to gauge the budget, and then the difference. So when it comes, I put the actual cost and the difference over here, and the difference goes back into savings. I don't spend it, not because like, okay, I was expecting the bill to come to 350 and it's only come to 100, then I have 250 difference to spend this month. No, I have 250 put it in my savings. And then gas, cable or satellite, maintenance of your house if you own a house. I do not own a house, so but I still have these expenses because I do plan to keep this budget for the rest of my life. As I mentioned, I'll add different expenses as I get older and as I accumulate different expenses. Well, I don't wish to accumulate expense, but the reality of life is that probably when I own a house, not even probably, but when I own a house, I'm gonna have to have maintenance expense and different expenses. So I have internet, phone, supplies, waste removal, water, sewage, then that come under housing. Then I have for food, I have groceries, and I have dining out. Groceries sometimes fluctuate, but there's generally you can have a sense of unless inflation do happen, but generally you have an idea of how much you spend on grocery. Or even if you don't, you should set a limit of how much you're gonna spend on grocery for the month. Dining out definitely need a limit on how much you're gonna spend on dining out for the month. I don't really dine out much, to be honest. I'm a single man that pretty much introverted, and most of my activities that I do generally doesn't cost much money or cost me dining out. So yeah, the only time I really go out to eat is with my friend, or sometimes like if I'm craving something particularly, I just swing by a spot and pick it up. But I generally don't dine out. I pretty much eat in a lot. Pause. Ooh, we. Then I actually have 3 credit cards. I This is my financial advisor advised me to have 3 credit cards. I'm not a big fan of credit cards, but I live in the US now, and we need it, or I need it to build credit. So the more credit line you have, the, the better it improve your credit. I can explain that in another video, but that's pretty much what my financial advisor told me, that hey, get 3 credit cards and don't max them out, but just spend on them and then pay them back monthly. I do not have student loan, thank God. Vehicle payment, I do not have any vehicle payment. I was fortunate enough to buy my car cash. How much you spend on fuel for the month, and then, well, I don't live in New York anymore, so I don't pay subway or bus fare. I have a vehicle now, and then your insurance come right here, the licensing fee, the maintenance for your car. I don't pay parking fee. I don't pay, well, I pay health insurance. These are the insurance coming in now. Health insurance. I don't pay home insurance. I don't have a home. Life insurance. And then I don't spend much on clothing right now because I haven't found my style as yet in Florida to like buy clothing, and I don't buy much clothing. I think what I wouldn't encourage anyone to buy a lot of clothes. What I would encourage you guys to have is style. If you have style, you don't have the need to have a lot of clothes. If you have style, you'll be able to style your closet as many way as possible. Dryer, I have a dryer. I have an in-house dryer, so I don't really spend for laundry, and but I do spend on laundry detergent. So I put it like $40. And hair and nails. Hair and nails. This one doesn't apply for everyone, but I like to get a little manicure and pedicure once a month, and my haircut twice a month. Yeah, and then charity. I am charity, but this is my budget. All right, guys. So I'm back at my regular spot on a Sunday evening. I'm just trying to be productive today. I'm at a little different little spot. I'm still at the restaurant, but I'm outside. I don't know, but the traffic here today is busier than usual. I'm not sure what's happening, but hey, work have to get done. I have my notebook today because me and my friend were supposed to go over some different stocks we're planning to invest in 2026, and he's on his way. He should be here anytime soon. But for now, I'm just going to jot down some pointers that I have to share with him, or some questions I have to ask him about what his thoughts and the different stocks I have in mind. So I had to come back inside. Um, it's pretty hot out there, and apparently I was taking up the parking lot space just to do my fit check. But something about Florida and fashion is just doesn't seem like it coincide because it's so hot. I haven't found my style in Florida as yet, but I'm gonna give it some time. There's not much you can dabble in as regards to fashion and style in Florida. I think probably I just haven't explored as yet because it's just so hot, and most of my clothing are conducive for New York weather, or colder weather. So I have a lot of sweatpants and stuff like that, so I can't really wear them as much here. Pretty much what I wear is just shorts and slippers thus far, and light clothing or knitted clothing. But yeah, I mean, in time, I'm gonna have to like upgrade my closet and find my style here. But I'll probably take you guys along the journey of that as well. But anyways, back to why I am here. Still waiting for my friend. He is late as usual. I don't know why I'm always the one that always waiting for my friends, man. It's killing me. But anyways, he and I have been talking, and I know the type of ETF that he's been looking into, and the type of stock that he's been looking into. He and I have been looking into the same part of stocks. We're looking into like medium term return on stocks. So like the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years return. So we're not looking for short term return on stocks. So we're pretty much looking for high dividend ETFs. So because of that, I know that for sure we're gonna have to look into stocks that have a very low expense ratio. Also gonna have to find stocks that have a very high payout ratio as well. And we're also gonna have to look for stock that the sector is not overexposed in terms of um, we don't want to buy ETF that there's stocks in this ETF that already exists in two other, three other, four other ETFs that we have. That's gonna be like pretty much that's gonna be what should I say? That's pretty much gonna like overcrowd the portfolio with the same stock. So we kind of like diversify the ETF. Pretty much, let me say, I'm not gonna stick into ETF with the same sector. Like if we have an ETF that's highly concentrated on tech stocks, the next ETF I'm gonna buy into is not gonna be highly concentrated on tech stocks. Another thing we have to look into is like dividend yield. We're gonna have to ensure that the dividend yield for the stocks or the ETFs that we're buying are anywhere between 3 to 6%. So yeah, these are the things that I already jot down for him. So when he comes, it's gonna be pretty much smooth sailing for us to just go through stuff. And I know that he have a lot of stuff to share with me as well. So yeah, I just don't know where he's at right now. Probably have to give him a call. This has been my friend since we were like 13, 14, high school, straight up to college, and now we're adults. And we've been talking about investment for a while. We just finally get around to investment and the U.S. stock market. That is, we've been talking about stock investment and stocks since we were in college, but we're just finally getting around to investment and the U.S. stock market. Um, yeah. So as I mentioned, he has been around for a while. He was the girls' man in college.
No, no.
He was the man that had all of the girls.
You are the girls, man.
No, 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 no.
So again, because I work in data, right? I feel that data is key. So the more information you can have, the more it's easier to make a decision. So all data is not going to be correct. Okay, it can be manipulated. However, the more sources that overlap, just like a Venn diagram, the more sources that overlap, you pick the one that's in the middle.
Yeah, makes sense.
So that's how I work. So if I'm seeing the same thing over and over, it's close enough to the truth, or it should be close enough to what is reality.
Yeah.
But you also have to know that persons plant information, media outlets plant information here, there. You have to know how to decipher between planted information, AI generated, what the actual facts is.
It's also good to look at these managers just to see like
Which is fair.
their
The track
portfolio,
record,
their
the
track
track record,
record, like
yeah.
how did they perform at the company that they were at before they came to this one.
So I can agree on that.
Yeah.
Track record is key. If they've a proven track record of like good work or good
Yeah.
decisions, instead of using morals, use good decisions.
The aim is to invest in 5 ETFs, right? 5 ETFs, and then we plunge into these ETFs. So instead of like having a lot of ETFs, we're gonna just have volume in each of these 5 ETFs. So 5 ETFs and individual stocks. We're not gonna make mention of the stocks that we're gonna buy into, because again, we don't want to seem like we're giving advice. The stocks that we are gonna buy into is between just me and him, and the ETF that we're gonna buy into as well is just between me and him. But this is the plan for 2026.
A couple months ago when we were looking at it, they were not actually producing anything yet. At some point, let's say we decide to go all out in that, to just make a quick turnover. You may have to change the portfolio way to, let's say, 40-50, just to make enough quick profit on that stock, like something like that, bigger than me.
All right. So fundamentally, I was saying that.
And then even so, you have to think about it when, for example, that stock is like $10. Even if you put $1,000 in that stock, it's not going to really affect the percentage of your portfolio based on why you already have it in it. So look at that as well.
That makes sense. But we need to have a range at least, just as to have like a plan or some kind of strategy.
The only reason why I agree with the having like a fixed amount as like a range or something like that is because the ETFs are going to provide you more cushion.
That's
the only reason why.
That's why I was saying that. That's why initially I was saying that let's have like a range, so just in case the individual, because the reality is that no matter, it doesn't matter how sure you are of a stock, things can happen, and the individual stock you put your money in can plunge. But if you have like an ETF, it creates a cushion for like that last day.
Oh.
So today I decided I want some time for myself, just to come to the beach and take in that feel. I told myself when I was moving from New York here that I'll go to the beach at least twice, well, at least once every 2 weeks, and I haven't been doing that. But today I just said, you know what, I'm gonna go. Despite whatever I have to do, despite anything, I'm gonna just take the day for myself and just come to the beach and chill. And yeah, I'll work on no play. Let Wint be a dumb boy, and I don't want to be a dumb boy, so let me play. It's kind of nice how seeing people with their kids when I was coming in, there was a lot of family up there, and I like seeing it. I like seeing like little kids coming to the beach for the first time or just enjoying the beach. I remember when I was a kid and I would go to the beach. Those memories still live on, still linger in my brain. So I hope these kids enjoy these moments because one day they won't be able to come to the beach as much as they want to. I just don't have such a schedule where they can just come to the beach and do what they want. So yeah, yeah. Okay, so they're doing some construction work. I'm gonna turn the camera so you guys can see. So this is like a new infrastructure they're putting up on the beach side. So they're doing some work up here. But anyways, hopefully I can get the angles back. If the angle is off, I'm sorry. But yeah, 2026, I just want to compound, meaning I just want to everything I'm doing, I want to compound on it, whether regards to fashion, whether regards to finance, whether regards to my fitness. I just want to ensure that I am just being consistent in whatever I'm doing. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the vlog to this point, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I'll really encourage you guys to subscribe. I really appreciate it. But this is how I'm gonna end the vlog for, well, this vlog. So until the next one, I'm just gonna enjoy my day by myself at the beach.